Tempo? Is this going to be brutal, or what do we expect?
Yeah, I'm pretty like much along with the desk. I think this is going to be one of those games where like a 16-5 or even lower than 5 rounds could be on the cards here. So yeah, I think this is going to be an interesting one to see how Cloud9 are going to take this. Is this just going to be the warm-up for them? How they're going to, like, what strats are they going to throw out? Or are they just going to play like this scrimmy style where they just go off for picks and just play on the individual firepower?
Well, Eric, I mean, having watched a Cloud9 competing this season in EPL, run me through a little bit of Inferno. Is there a chance that they have vulnerabilities here?
Not much, but as for C9, they're kind of hard to see how they might move and whatnot. But I think Rush, he's more of the rock on the team where he's always in the halls. He's watching for the push and everything. And I think if you want to counter C9, counter him, because other guys are too explosive. They're too explosive.
Are we echoing the same thing, guys?
Yeah, for the most part, I would say Rush has been, even on Optic, and me and Dust talking about this earlier, he was kind of like their rock entry fragger, and you could always rely on him to get stuff done when rounds looks pretty bleak. So I think he's on point.
Well, let's talk about people that we can rely to get stuff done. That's Rizk and the Bears. You guys go ahead and take it away from here. We're going to jump into this match soon.
Thank you very much. We are ready to go in a few seconds here with the game between Cloud9 and Tempo Storm. And I'm pretty excited to see, of course, I'm back here in NA. Like,
I'm excited too.
Some NA souls, some NA games to start things off. Of course, I'm a European, so these are some of the teams that I don't usually, I'm not even awake for these games, so I would have to like change my whole sleep schedule in order to actually watch this. So I'm really excited to come here and see Cloud9 because this is a team, when I watched the E-League premiere, I was very impressed with them. Of course, being a Danish man myself, Astralis fanboy, I was actually really impressed with them in that best of 3 against Astralis, so I'm looking forward to seeing what they're going to do here in this, like, this is type of a competition where I think Cloud9 should, like, without a doubt, make it to the final and probably also win it.
I think C9 has a very high chance of winning this whole thing, but one thing is they're up and down. You know, as they first have had Tarek and Rush on the team, it's kind of like these guys should be the super team of NA, but a lot of struggles. They're coming back, and they're doing a lot more, I guess, team play since they've been together.
Yeah, definitely. And I think also that's one of the things that's very interesting with Cloud9 is how they're going to evolve throughout the next couple of months, because everyone knows the firepower on that team is pretty stacked. It's all a question of how can they put it into a system that's actually going to work out in the end. And this should be a game where we probably see more of the firepower than we do see of the system, because I feel like if they're going up against a team like, let's say, Mousesports in the potential final, they'll have to do both. In this game, I don't think they really have to rely on the system that much. They just need to get their picks in and just the standard, get out of the defaults and just play it as they usually would.
They're going to be loose. They'll be running and gunning.
Yes.
Watch out for that banana push by Stewie. he loves to, you know, just be aggressive and just be in their faces, have that control, make sure that's, this is my banana, not yours.
Yeah, the whole confidence thing is a great one. I think, like, confidence is something that's not being discussed that much in CS at the moment, is like how much that matters. If you go in, let's say, an Opera, for example, Skadoodle, when he's on fire, when he's confident, you'll see him hitting every single shot. But when he's not confident, when he's having trouble, like, getting into a game, he'll have big troubles. And I think Stewie is the same thing. Like, if he's, like, going the full run and gun, running through smokes, getting entries everywhere, he'll be impossible to counter. But if he has a rough start, then that whole thing can just fall apart.
This game's all about the confidence, all right? It's a mental game. If you're confident in peak and angle, taking that shot, it makes it so much easier, and everything kind of falls into, you know, in its mark kind of thing. But, you know, it's a team like C9, if they're hot, if they come out of the gate, it's really hard, as you said, to kind of slow them down, to stop them.
Yeah, and that's one of the win conditions I have for Tempo Storm here. They have to get a good start. They have to kind of shock the system of C9 and make them doubt themselves. If, let's say, C9 just wins the pistol run very, like, confidently and just going and rushing everywhere, just getting headshots, I think it's going to be hard for them to get back into the game. So I feel like Tempo Storm, they need this pistol round badly, and they need to build off some momentum off that. And talking about that, we are still waiting for you guys, of course. Everyone in Twitch chat right now, like, start the game, casters. We have this magical button under the table. Of course, we can press. We have the power. Everyone knows that. We do have the power to start the game. But yeah, we'll be ready in a few minutes, guys, so don't worry. But yeah, talking about this tournament in general, they touch upon it on the desk as well. Like, who is your favorite to win it? Because I feel like everyone is saying Mousesports C9 final.
I think that's what looks like it, but you can't count out teams like NRG, LELC, and stuff like that, where, you know, they come to a tournament, anyone can win, anyone can upset the other team, especially in a best of one at the start. So if you start off like Tempo Storm, if they upset C9, they might catch that momentum, maybe win another match, maybe get out. Who knows? I think it's very important to start off like a team like Tempo Storm, win that pistol, start off fast and strong, make C9 kind of sweat a little bit.
Yes. Yeah, and also like talking about teams like NRG, I think is a very interesting, of course, with the way that they changed their system with Dabs going to coach, but also with the individual performances on that team. I think like Cirque on the AWP, and ANJ, of course, my Danish brother.
They're
like,
playing amazing.
Yeah, exactly, and they're going to be very interesting to follow throughout this tournament. I think this could be one of the showings because I remember back in the summer when they did Valencia, they did Atlanta, they were brand new teams, the system was not in place, the roles weren't even defined. Now they're in a spot where they're actually taking maps of really strong teams, and now they're in a LAN environment where they can really prove themselves.
Yeah, I think Cirque is a person to watch because everyone loves that fast, you know, high-energy AWPer. He's hopping around, he's in aggressive spots, he's a random AWPer, and you have to have that. Like, it's so powerful to have that on the team to where you can't like AWP him because he's pushing long B,
yes.
He's middle, he's long A halls. It's so hard to read him, and so you have to almost have like, okay guys, let's step back, let's do a default, let's just kind of see where he's at in the round and then work from there.
Yeah, that was one of the hardest part back when Fnatic had that like super top team back in 2015 because JW was impossible to counter wherever. Like he had always like the hall pushes on Inferno and on other maps. He would go aggressive on every single angle, and you would never know how to catch him off and how to kind of like take him out of the equation. And I feel like this could be the same thing with Synergy lineup with Cirque if he really goes off.
Yeah, with Cirque, I mean, also with the support of Ange and the team of Energy, kind of on paper, I mean, you don't expect them to be that awesome team, but you know, it's almost like a perfect storm where they all came together and it's all working out pretty well.
Yeah, definitely. And also talking about another team that I feel also we have to mention when talking about the tournament in general. Big, the Germans coming in here. They of course had the big major run where everyone was like, oh, this is the time. This is where GOP finally steps up to the plate and like completes the prophecy that he has been going on for the last 10 years. But then they kind of like, they didn't fall off completely, but they didn't deliver the same kind of run in the last couple of months. So I feel this is also like a proving grounds for them to say, okay, we're back. We can win these kind of tournaments.
Yeah, I want them to get beyond the jump bug, you know, that they're known for now. And even though like, yeah, it kind of helped them out, they still have to have tactics. They still have to know what to do in order to do well. So the potential's there for big, but are they, you know, can they get past that? Can they start to win more matches and have more consistency?
Yeah, I think that's going to be the key there for them, consistency, and that's one of the things that they have been working on for such a long time as well, because that was the whole idea back when it started. I remember DreamHack Leipzig early in the year was the first tournament where this kind of like big team showed up and said, okay, we're ready to do this on the stage. And they're one of the teams that I at least know from Europe, from other players. They practice, like their practice regimen is really, really good. They do a lot of stuff, not only in-game, not only like scrimming, but also like with tactics, talking about watching demos. Everyone's anti-stratting. It's not just like the coach and the in-game leader. Everyone's watching those demos, and they're taking that whole challenge as a team, where a lot of other teams will have, for example, on Astralis, where Sonic will watch the demos and then he'll go through it with Glaive, and the other players will be focusing on their own play. Big, on the other side of things, are doing it as a team.
And then that can be pretty helpful as a team to actually know, you know, what some other team will do in one round. They might mix it up, and it's pretty good to have it, but also the downside of that is that you might doubt your own game because you're always trying to counter attack instead of making them change. And so you do have to have a fine balance in, you know, watching the other people with mixing it in. Hey, I'm playing my own game. Adjust to me. You know?
Exactly.
You have to have that mentality when you play.
Yeah, definitely. It's like in every other like sports, you have to have that confidence to believe that every single time you go out against your opponent in a 1v1 duel, in a team duel, you'll know in your heart that you'll win, because that's
it's always good to know in your heart if you're going to win. It's a very powerful feeling.
Yeah, definitely.
And Cloud9, they're definitely going to be the more confident team in this. As Tempo Storm, right? They finally get 5 in the server, so maybe, you know, they're hungry to play. They're hungry to start the game. I'm hungry to start the game.
Yeah, that's why we have been waiting for a bit. Finally, we got the last player on the Tempo Storm lineup on the server had some issues, but now we're ready to go, or should be very soon, guys. You can see they're all focused up on the stage here.
So if you're a captain on this team and you guys won knife, what side would you pick?
See, that's the problem. I feel like with me still being in the position as this kind of commentator, because if I was back in the position when I was playing, I would know how my team felt in and out with the side, because I feel on most map, of course, Like Inferno usually would pick the CT side for like percentage, but some teams can start on that C side to just start things off, because on that C side you control the pace. So if my team was the team that liked to control the pace and we wanted to kind of shock the system of the opposition, I would actually maybe go for that C side, even though statistically it would be the wrong choice.
That's a very good point, and it's never a wrong, you know, if you win, right?
Yeah.
Never a wrong choice if you win. Just got to show them what's up. You see here, I think we're about to start the knife round. And let's see what Cloud9 is going to choose. Well, I'm just already calling out like they're going to win. I'm sorry, that's not right.
No, but yeah, like if we can do something here, because for me and other Europeans that are maybe new to this Tempo Storm team, of course I did some research before coming here, but like you have maybe had some more exposure to them, so can you kind of like, apart from the Destiny, the pickup that has gone to Immortals, who are these guys and who should we look out for?
SHZ has kind of been here and there in the scene as some of these newer ones. I'm not too sure because they're also kind of new as well, and they're kind of up and coming.
Yep.
So I think Tempo Storm, I mean, they've earned the right to be here, and I'm actually excited to see if they can compete with the big dogs. Can they beat C9, or at least make it a good game? Like, even if you were to lose, make it a 16-14. Give yourself confidence for the next game. If you get 16-2, 16-3, that just puts a seed of doubt in your head for the next coming matches. So if you're going to lose close, please.
That's what we want. Of course, like, when you look at this group where of course C9 and Tempo Storm are in, most people would be saying C9 to go through as the #1 spot. I feel like if Tempo Storm could get a good result in this game, they'll say, okay, maybe we can have a chance of battling out, let's say in a decider game, in an elimination game, then maybe we'll be able to take it there. This is, as you said, like this should be a C9 win, but if they could take it close, then they could kind of gather that confidence, maybe gather some momentum going into the next game. But talking about next games, we are ready to jump in. Cloud9 versus Tempo Storm live here from DreamHack Astro Open Denver. And all ready to go in a few seconds. Of course, Inferno is the map choice. If you're just joining us, we have had a little bit of an introduction period, but now we're ready to jump into the game. And as we talked about, this is going to be a huge pistol round for Tempo Storm. If they can try and set the pace for this, that will help them out so much. But nonetheless, it is Cloud9 who are the big favorites in this one.
Oh yeah, and we see here there's a smoke Molotov on Landon, so maybe we'll see like a little explode execute here towards a bomb site. I mean, it's only one smoke, but you know, it's enough to cover one choke point. We'll see S1 and Landon trying to push back Banana here, try to make sure that they don't get flanked too early.
See, apartments control is being taken by Tempo Storm. The question is if they actually want to go for that push. The two players from Banana, S1 and Landon, are rotating back onto that mid. So split A could be on the cards here for the Brazilians. Still 2 pieces of utility on Landon.
And Rush taking a first kill right off the bat. Now Tempo Storm's in a 4-5 situation. Here comes the smoke. See where that's going to land. Molotov towards the pit. Rush, though, is going to get swarmed by the Tempo Storm people. Takes out DZT.
Very nice
couple
play.
Exchanges right there.
Yeah, Cloud9 are very good as automatic being taken down to just hold him off the bomb side and just take this time away from the terrorist team. And they have dropped the bomb here in pit. Tennyson does pick it up, and there comes Stu back into the bomb site. Landon goes down. And now it's all on one pair of Brazilian shoulders. Good damage being done on Tarek, though. But still, a very hard situation to win from pit if you're in that 1v3.
Yeah, it's very hard in this spot, and it would have been nice if Tempo Storm would have gotten the bomb down, but Cloud9 showing that off round 1 that their aim is hit nice. And look at that shot by Rush. Pretty impressive right there. And Rush having 2 kills in the pit is huge. It kind of disrupts the whole team of Tempo Storm. They have to look there, and while that's happened, C9 is helping them out, shooting them inside.
Now we do see, as per usual in this meta, the pistol Forcer pit. CZ75s, sometimes also accompanied by a scout. This time around, it's going to be focused on the 2 flashbangs on Landon. And with the running CZ75 in this current meta, I actually do agree with that. Just go for a run and gun strat, get 2 flashes in there, and then see if you can get maybe 1 or 2 openings. Because if they get 1 opening on B and then they can swarm the other guy, they do get that bomb down, and that's great for their economy moving on, and I think that's going to be the plan.
Yeah, and it looks pretty nice because there's only 2 people in B for Cloud9, and the bomb for Tempo Storm's in the Banana. And so we see them trying to creep up slowly and then probably do a couple pop flashes and try to overrun the speed bomb site. All I need is that 1 kill just to snowball in there.
And with DZT coming in with a Desert Eagle, we know how much damage that one can do, but Stu is in a good position. Flash comes in, completely anti-flash for that one, but S1 taking out the first round. Automatic now has to take time. He's running out of bullets, does take 2 frags, but still, bomb site control has been given.
And there's some nice 3 entry kills by Tempo Storm, but the nade by Rush with a clutch nade. He was about to plant the bomb. Now Tatson getting killed by a blind Rush, which around looked like it could have been in Tempo Storm's favor. C9 brilliantly just turns that around.
Yeah, the combination there of Rush coming in with a nade to begin with, and then just running and gunning with a UMP45, taking that control. I kind of feel like was it Tatterson in the Ruins area, he should probably have had that kill, and maybe online back in his own comfort zone, he would probably have gotten that kill as well. Yep. But this is the LAN experience. This is like the pressure getting on you, and sometimes you're going to miss shots that you usually would have hit because the pressure is just getting to you. Yeah,
that nade was the MVP of that round. I mean, if they got the bomb down, Tempo Storm could relax. They could play tight angles, and made it really harder for C9. And Stewie is going to just push down middle. C9 showing a little no respect. They know that Tempo Storm done a very poor buy, saved them completely, and they're just trying to farm up the money with those kills.
Yeah, and to continue us off that point there you made, like if they gotten that bomb down, close range CZ 75, I would almost like rate it above an M4 in that kind of situation, because the CZ 75 is so good in that close range angle. But now we do have the first buy round coming in. It's going to be the first kind of showing for Tempo Storm to see if they can match up with Cloud9 on these kind of buys. We do have 1 FAMAS still on Skadoodle, so no upgrade to the AWP. Landon on the T side, he has gotten an AWP of his own.
Yeah, I like the AWP on the first gun round. I think they want to make an impact against C9, stop them from peeking, stop them from being aggressive, and the best way to do that, get an AWP down. Hold an angle, make C9 respect you.
Banana control being taken by the CTs thanks to these smokes, and they're just trying to run through it right now. Stewie and Automatic shutting things down. Bomb dropped on T-Slow, but now it's a 3v5. Very hard situation to get back into for Tempo Storm. So right now, need to go as a team and get some picks to get the numbers even back out, because 2-man advantage is very hard to play against.
Very much so, and with only 10 HP, no armor, and the bomb, it's going to be very difficult for Tempo Storm to come back through here, especially when C9 already has the whole control of Banana. It's making sure like having map control is very important. And now Landon's he wants to make a move. He wants to make a play here, and HAZ does take out Rush, so kind of evening it, trying to chip away at the old block.
Skadoodle here, of course, without an AWP. In an interesting position, boosted up. This is something that you can use maybe once every 5th to 10th round. It's not something you can use round after round. So I think it's nice of him using that position when he knows he's not on an AWP. So he's going to take an off angle that time around. But the question is the execute going to come to A? And I think the answer is, well, it could go both ways right now, but it's going to be the B push. Let's see here. Landon, the 1-2 open. Smoke for CT goes down. Flashes goes over. And it's going to be up to Stewie.
I'm surprised that C9 rotated out of B in that situation. They had Sky in the middle spot, and they still had a B over-rotator. But Stewie taking out Tess to Ta, and taking out SHC. So Stewie coming in huge. Now Landon trying to save it up. Does not do it. Cloud9 up 4-0. Tempo Storm not starting off hot like we wanted them to.
The timing on the flashbang coming in from CT to help out Stewie was so on point, because you see them pushing in, and you hear that timing from CT. The flashbang goes in and Stewie just peeks out. Wide peek, gets 2 of them. Easy peasy. The third guy is, of course, the AWP, as we talked about, on 10 HP. There's no way he can get into a bomb site when he has to hold 2 angles at the same time, so he tries to rotate back. But they have the flank as well, so 4-0. Another set of pistols, and this is the start that we probably expected, not the one we hoped for, because Tempo Storm have been struggling, to be honest, so far. But
yeah, and since they're down, lost 4 rounds in a row as a team, get by pistol armor and be okay to buy guns next round. So they're going to try to. I mean, at this point, if I was Tempo Storm, try to kill as many people as possible, try to whittle away at their money. I mean, of course, you want to win the round, but if you don't win, try to eliminate as many people as possible. But Stewie's going to take out 3 people with headshots. And now he's going to try to get the 4th. Gets it. Can he get the ace, though? Oh, he misses the ace. Stewie. Nice try.
yeah, but it's just when you have a player like that, of course, usually you would expect the CT with the position and the weapon advantage in that kind of position to just take those frags. But Stewie's just so on point, and he takes every single duel with the respect that you should, and also with the disrespect, because peeking out like that is not something they would expect. Like the 3rd kill coming in there with the pre-fire was so on point as well. And it's just so nice to see him. And we talked about the confidence here being the key factor. And if Stewie is confident, if Rush is confident, then these guys, like from Cloud9, how are Tempo Storm going to stop them? They have to really play their A game and surprise everyone.
And here's what's kind of interesting here. C9 kind of coming out with the 2 ops setup, and usually kind of take that out if you're losing in a way, kind of. But they're up 5-0, and they're like, yeah, let's just get 2 ops. Why not?
Yeah, the CT side, very interesting one from Cloud9. Of course, they are playing, as per usual, Skadoodle. He's playing on apps, and then Stewie on that banana with the AWP as well.
I like that smoke Molotov, because it kind of makes a little advantage towards the AWP right there for Stewie. It kind of pushes Tempo a little back for B, and now with C9 kind of pushed over there in B, they're able to stack 4 people A, but I think Tempo Storm reads this.
Well, that's a good read. Stewie missed that one shot, smoking off just to rotate back and buying himself some more time. There is a rotate that could come in from A long, but hasn't started yet because they are still pressuring mid. But this is all a ruse. The bomb is going the other way around. It's all battles on both sides of the maps. The orbs are ringing in. Skadoodle and Stewie both with 1, and now it's a 3v3, but the HP advantage definitely in favor of Cloud9, but they have got CT control, so Stewie pushed back on the back of that B bomb site. Has to hold a very defensive, very tight angle. Misses that shot.
HAZ with an incredible shot. That's Stewie. Now looked like a round for C9. Tempo Storm made a nice little CT spawn B push, and Cloud9's got to decide if they're going to try to attempt this, and I think they should.
Yeah.
They have money, they have health. All they need is get a quick kill right now and turn it into a 2-on-2 situation.
And also they have, now they wasted 1, but they have still 2 flashbangs to come into that side, so if they can get the frag onto SH dead, here in Ruins, take down these at T in the first one, and now it's landed at the back of the bomb site with a lot of HP as well, so he will be the point man. But look at that position from the Brazilian. Takes the head off Tarek, and now it's all done and dusted because there's no way that Rush can come in and get this. He can, of course, deny a weapon. That's what he's trying to do right now. But there's no way he's going to be able to come in and get this bomb defused. Landon on 19 HP will survive. But Tempo Storm getting on the board, getting that first round. I really like the way that they pressured Banana and mid at the same time, so you kind of try and disrupt the communication, so you can't really get any rotates in, and there's going to be so much noise going on in that, well, communication channel. It could be TeamSpeak, whatever. So they kind of try to mess with the heads of Cloud9 a little bit, and it works out in the end.
It worked very well, and because of the 2 op, look how much honey that C9 has now. They're kind of low on money, at least for you know, it's $0 over there, and so it's kind of hard to do that when, you know, you're up 5-0 already.
Yeah, like it's the money on Stereo right now, of course, very low, and that's the danger game of playing those 2 ops, and that's where sometimes you can maybe get a little bit too confident and a little bit too cocky, thinking, okay, surely we can win 2 ops after this. And then you get shut out in 1 round, and then one of your players is going to be on $0. The rest of the team is going to be able to buy up nonetheless, but still, it kind of challenges the economy game of that round. So now, Tempo Storm once again setting up towards middle. They have gone and got themselves some map control, but Tarek is in pit, automatic on the other side of the smoke. Let's see if he's going to push it. Just going to hold it close.
Here, Cloud9 gives up middle completely, allows Tempo Storm just to work it, and now Landon's going to try to sneak up with this AWP. He's kind of in a good spot. Oh, 18 games his teammate, but Tempo Storm still gets 2 kills out of it. And nice shot by Landon, taking out Rush. And wow, that was a kind of an interesting round by Tempo Storm there.
Yeah, very nice push and very nice utility usage to get onto that bomb site. But it's still a 2v3. Stewie and Skadoodle are both relatively close. But I feel like if they don't get a kill right now, there's going to be those magical like 10 seconds. You use your utility, you try and get in. If you don't get a kill, you're going to rotate back. But here we go. They are pushing in Skadoodle with the AWP. Always tricky to retake with that one, and Landon shuts him down, and now it's going to be very hard for Stewie to take this one. Looks like Tempo Storm are going to get another round on the board here. First one goes in, time is still ticking. Second one peeking, but no! It's going to be the Brazilians getting round number 2 on the board.
So Singan, after losing the 2 rounds ago, they kind of played a little passive A, and Tempo Storm read that very nicely. So they just walk up middle and kind of have their way with C9, even though Landon TK's his teammate. He still gets 2 important kills in the bomb site and allow Tempo Storm to win that round. Now C9's on the last edge of their money, so they have to win this round if they want to, you know, kind of stay ahead of the game.
Yeah. Also, one thing that I I really liked with the way the Tempo Storm took their bomb site was the way that you use the smokes to take mid control, but also using the Molotov to clear off, let's say, pit and all that stuff. So their utility usage was on point. It seemed like they studied how C9 plays that A bomb site so they can kind of take out the position and the quick scope coming in from landing onto the back of the bomb site. So it seems to me that Tempo Storm have an idea of how Cloud9 play these different bomb sites. Now, this time around, they're pushing on Banana. It's going to be Skadoodle and Stewie. But Stewie, of course, was the player we talked about last round, spending all his money. And now, only with the C-75 and some utility behind him. But Tempo Storm just taking it easy, just going around the map, seeming they can find some picks from not as aggressive angles. And then, in a little while, we'll probably execute towards this B-bomb site.
Yeah, but there's a good thing for C9 is that Automatic just used all of his utility right then, and so maybe if he held on for 10 more seconds, could have stopped his rush, but Skadoodle taking out Landon. These AT exchanging the kill, and now it's 4-4. Tempo Storm was trying to rush to this bomb site. DZT gets right over there as HAC kills Stewie, and now C9 looks like they're going to be in trouble here, and they're losing momentum.
And they're getting shot through smokes and everything, so they're trying to get this retake going, and two of them just go down through that CT smoke, and very nice from S1 thinking, okay, the retake is going to be coming in, I can spam this for a second, so either I get a kill or I pressure them back so they can't really get that retake going. And it works out perfectly. Tarek will be forced to save here. No reason to go into this 1v3. Might put Tatas in here on the hunt to see if he can get the weapon, but at this point, the remaining two Tarics are not going to be going for the either. So 3 players surviving this round. Actually, they are playing rather aggressive. They're really getting all over the map here, Tempo Storm. They want to get in the heads of C9, want to see if they can take this M4 out of Tarek's hands, but I don't think that's going to be the case.
Yeah, I don't think Tempo Storm should try to push too hard, because they have won the last 3 rounds, but they're not as much money ahead as, you know, they'd like to be. And as you notice that C9, the rounds that they've lost, they're playing like really passive, not really kind of not playing their game. They have to play aggressive if they want to, you know, show their true potential.
Also, one thing that I noticed with great teams in CSGO is that when you go into the first game, usually the best of ones in these kind of tournaments, a lot of them start off really slow, and it takes them a while to reset themselves and go into the rest of the tournament. SK Gaming are famous for this.
Oh, yeah.
They're always going to be in that first game. You never know what you're going to get, and then the rest of the tournament you get the usual SK Gaming. And this could be, like, these kind of start jitters could be the same here for Cloud9. But, like, this is a team they should be able to beat even with start jitters.
I think C9 has to get a little looser. I think they're just playing a little too passive, a little too tight. Don't let the Ts, like Tempo Storm, play their game. You have to disrupt them. You have to be in their face consistently. And you see Landon here is trying to sneak a peek here in this middle. And throw a couple of utility, Molotov under that porch. It looks like they're going to back off. They don't want to force it in the smoke. You never know how many people on the other side of that smoke. So smartly, Tempo Storm's going to sit back, take their time. They still have a minute left in the round.
Yeah, so one thing that I noticed there was the utility usage in the presence towards mid actually got the rotation from the players on B onto that A mid. And now Tempo Storm rotated, but they haven't quite pushed in yet. They had a window of 10 seconds where they could have pushed in, and it would have been a 1 CT play on the bomb side. But now there's a couple of people here. Tarek is on the spot, and he's on the boosted position. 2 for 1 so far for Cloud9. 3 players remaining on that CT sledge. Stewie coming in with the pistol as well. And the bomb has to rotate back, so very nice hold. And that was on the back of, I think, Tempo Storm taking a bit too long for that rotate. They waited on Banana for maybe 10, 15 seconds too long when they actually had an advantage early on from smart play. But this time around, it's going to be Tatarsin and Landon 2v4. They have bomb in their control. Can go in, get this plant down.
And now Tempo Storm, Tata was up in A when they were hitting B, so allowed Tempo Storm to come back to A to plant. And Tark takes out Tata. Now it's up to Landon in 1-on-4 with an AWP. Takes out Rush. And now C9 is going to try and swarm him from all angles. And Stu taking out Landon. C9 winning eco. That was a hurtful round to lose for Tempo Storm. But because now they're pretty low on money, they might have to decide if they want to save or do a random force buy. In my opinion, I think I just save one, maybe get some pistols, utility or 2, and then play a full gun round next round. You know, take the losses, minimize it, go hard the next round. And it looks like they're going to force buy. So this is a a risky move. It's not the wrong move, but
Yeah,
it's definitely a risky move.
choice. Yeah, and also with the fact that they had, like, the money was so spread between the players. Like, before buying, one was on 57, another one was on 2,900. So you're going to get, like, a big difference in setups and what kind of utility and what kind of weapons you can take into the round. So you're going to have to play around that. It's not going to be one of the pages in the playbook where you, like most strats, you set up, you know, okay, you're going to have all your utility. This is not one of those rounds. This is one of the rounds where a mid-round call has to come in and say, okay, we're going to do this on the back of what we have of equipment right now. Skadoodle, on the other side of things, he has everything he wants in his setup. Let's see if he can bring something to the table.
And a miss molly by Sky. You wish he hit it towards the middle. Now Tempo Storm, all they did was an elbow peek, and now they have full control of that mid area. And now they kind of work C9 in their will. They could either wrap or take the 10 aside if they wish. But Tempo Storm decides they're going to just kind of hold mid a little bit, see if C9 re-pushes it in B or towards this mid area.
Finally clear enough positions with those Molotovs. Skadoodle on the corner here. Smoke holding the back for a bit. Now they're going to push through. First shot goes in. Skadoodle on point. He gets a double as well as he takes down 2 Brazilians with 1 bullet. SHZ and Tatarsin remaining. Getting 1 frag. That's Tarek going down, but Skadoodle has done the hero play this round here. Question if can he add up more here? There's only 1 player remaining on that T side, and Tatarsin is doing work here with the UMP-45, but in a 1v2, that's going to be very hard to win this. 20 seconds to go, and bomb control lost. C9 at this point just had to camp the bomb and wait for the Tempo Storm player to peek it and then take him out.
It looks like he might just try to save the losses here with only 8 seconds left. He doesn't have time to plant and win the bomb, or to hand the bomb and plant. And so he's just going to sit back, trying to keep the gun for next round. And so the calculated risk by Tempo Storm does not pay off. And Scott coming in with huge, and I'm surprised by Tempo Storm. They heard the AWP on the Arch side at the start of the round, and they forced it still. So kind of interesting that they still wanted to go this route with pretty much no smokes covering, only the CT spawn side. And against an AWPer, you need smokes by the small pit. You need more flashes towards the area if you want to push back the AWPer in the bomb side.
Exactly, because I felt like they had a good idea, because they used Molotov to clear out different angles and smoked the corridor towards CT. But they kind of like forgot the 2 most important positions, in my opinion, and it's going to be very hard if you like allow Skadoodle to get those easy picks in quotation marks. If you're not like having him smoked off or flashed off when you push in, then he's just going to take those shots, because he is one of those like turret ops that can just take out everyone that comes his way if you don't force him out of his comfort zone.
Yeah, and you look at Tempo Storm, they're just going to try to hit this B explosion. They've had some success at B earlier in the game. But with only pistols and 1 rifle, it could be difficult for the setup that C9 is in right now.
Yep, Nade's coming in automatic. Taking down S1, and smoke is down right now. Stewie through the smoke. Takes down DZT, and he's just continuing, just wrecking them through the smoke. And now Pop Flash could be coming in, but he decides to just go for the spray anyways. No need to waste your utility when you can just shoot them through a smoke.
Stewie's showing his game sense right there. Tempo Storm was making a lot of noise in the smoke, so hey, you know, if you're gonna make a bunch of noise, I'm just gonna spam through it. Yeah. Have a good day. Give me easy kills.
Yeah, with that M4A4, of course, you have the extra bullets. You have a great situation if you know that someone's in this kind of general vicinity. You can just spray through that smoke. You just waste half of your mag. It's not even a problem for the rest of the round. And now CZ75 is coming in. A lot of Molotovs, 3 to be exact, for this T side. Going to play this one out. All know running gun CZ is very strong, but is it going to be strong enough?
I'm curious why Tempo Storm bought pistol armor again. I guess at 1 buy, they just kind of want to get their money back on track. I thought they'd get some rifles this round. I mean, it's not ideal. They probably have around 4,000, but they decided to go with the pistol armor again instead of the rifle route. So
yeah, I'm pretty sure they have some kind of specific executing point here with the CZ75. Otherwise, I wouldn't agree with this decision, but let's see here. Flash Star coming in. Stewie and automatic in unison. Can they pull it off? SHZ. The frag onto CT. Stewie still holding defensive here. Skadoodle coming in from CT with that rotation. Taking them down. Nice shot from Landon, though. And 3v2 with 1 M4 picked up as well. And Bonplank will be coming in here for the T's.
Yeah, nice little execute by Temple Storm. Looks like they're going to try to peek over the smoke here, and I think I like it. But Tarek, he smells it, and he gets 2 kills, picking off the people towards Coffin. Tata and Landon, you know, actually in that situation, I mean, you might not need the bomb plant now with the money, the loss bonus, but I like the idea of trying to get the kill. You know, trying to make it a 2-on-2 situation, then you can plant the bomb.
Exactly, but Tarek, he
knew it. I don't know how he knew it. He just looked up in the smoke. He had a feeling.
Snap-second decision-making, like some kind of intuition feeling that, yeah, they're probably going to do this. And that's one of the things that Tarek is very good at, and one of the reasons why he's on this team, apart from his individual skill and his individual level and taking duels. But now we do have the bar round coming in again, and I feel like it's been a while since we saw something great coming out of Tempo Storm in this kind of like full buy AK rounds. So let's see if they can bring something to the table. Cloud9 have stabilized after losing a couple of rounds early on. Skadoodle has been on point, but this time around he will be taken down to 20 HP and forced back from his position in apartments. Mystery on Banana as always, just controlling that, but DZT coming in with the reply. So 1-for-1 on the Banana, automatic. It's going to take control back.
Yeah, but so if you play around the smoke now Automatic knows that there's none in B, so this prompts Tark to fall back towards the A bomb site. And now it looks like Temple Storm's going to try to work their way around middle, throwing a bunch of utility. They're kind of giving away their spot, but C9 already knows, so Temple Storm trying to make a play here. HSC is trying to take that late haul as Temple Storm is trying to wrap on him. Tata going through that smoke and spawn, falls back to the lane. Now Cloud9 has to defend 3 people on this wrap side before they get pinched in this A bomb site.
Close range duels will be coming out in favor of the Cloud9 team, and now it's on SH set to open up towards Pit. Landing coming in, can he land the double? He will! Tarek and Rush both go down, and now Automatic all alone. Great interest into the bomb site from Landon there. Cloud9 were not prepared for him coming in.
I think what helped that so much is that Landon came a good 5 seconds after the Rat people died, so he let SHZ make noise, hey look, I'm in halls, come look at me, and then he just flanked those people in the A-bomb site. And so Landon with a huge play that round.
Yeah, the timing.
Timing and great teamwork, good communication by Temple Storm. So that's not something that just randomly happens. You have to talk about it. You got to communicate with each other.
And that's one of the things that we're discussing on the desk as well. Like the basics of Team CS is something that is on point for Tempo Storm. It's more like they are lacking a bit in firepower, they are lacking in LAN experience, but the communication and the timings in a round like this, that's on point. And you're gonna that's what they can count on going in, and that's what they're gonna have to count on in order to win rounds against this Cloud9 lineup. That was a hard one. but yeah, because they're going to be outmatched in all the other areas, so they have to kind of use those timings into their advantage. Timing almost coming into the favor of the T's there. 2-for-1 trade. Skadoodle pushed back into the bomb site once again. We see them taking this control over long, time and time again. And now Tatasin coming in from the apartments as well. Tarek doubles up. And Tatasin not able to get it out, and Tarek will grab that triple. Nice hold from him. As the claps from the coach come in the back. And let's see. Oh, we got it. I was getting worried there for a second.
And C9 been showing that when you take mid, they kind of fall back in this A passive setup. And Temple Storm, they're taking mid, but once they get to mid, they're kind of faltering in the entry kills towards this B bomb site. They keep trying to take the wrap, and Sky's always getting like 1 or 2 kills, and it's just disrupting the whole rush and push.
Once again on board with Skadoodle. The NA Orb legend has been in the game for such a long time. Talking about CSGO in general, I still remember.
He's a turret.
Yeah, and he's been. He doesn't need to fix up. Like if you have a normal piece of artillery, you'll need to get some parts out here and there and fix it up. But Skadoodle just keeps on running. Doesn't care.
Doesn't care.
Now we do have the execute coming in, actually missing the shot there. And being taken out by Landon, and now it's all on Rush and Tarek on this bomb site, but they're doing great holding back these pistols, even pulling out one of his own here. As a 5-7 comes into play, Tatasin, 1v4, bomb is down. And he has an idea of where the players are. He actually does mollow out Rush in that situation, but and then he's taken out. And that's the kind of way you can play that 2v1. So you know, even if one of your players die, the second one peeks out straight after, so you get that timing in where they can't really handle it. That's how you should be able to play it, especially when you have that 4-man advantage against one. You can easily sacrifice one of your players to make 100% sure you get the final kill.
Yeah, and that last round, Tempo Storm kind of had like a smoke, try to hop in pit, but I only saw 1 or 2 people try to attempt to pit, and a lot of them were up lane. I think if maybe they add a couple more flashes in the pit, maybe 1 more in the halls, I think that strat could have went a little better for Tempo Storm, because C9 was kind of set up 1 pit, 1 site, 1 graveyard, and so hey, this is called Tempo Storm. Like, I don't think there was enough flashes because they were just shooting them as they're hopping out of the halls and whatnot. So very convincing half by Cloud9. Kind of stumbling towards the 5th and 6th round. I think that double off was a little too premature.
Yeah.
But they managed to come back. They managed to, well, not come back, but to restabilize after those couple rounds that they lost in the middle.
And that's also important to kind of get that, I think, for big teams in the beginning of tournaments, to get that kind of fear in you that you can actually lose this, and then you kind of have to reset yourselves and say, okay, how do we counter this right now? And I think that gives you some kind of confidence knowing that, okay, we're in a tough spot now, but we can bring it back. And then when you bring it back, you feel, okay, now we got this. Now we're ready for this tournament. I think it's important that you just don't like 16-1 or 16-0 the first game. Then we'll be going into game 2 and thinking, yo, we can take on the world. It's not going to be a problem. This time around, even though they had the 11-4 half, which is very impressive, they still had a couple of rounds where they got outshot or outstarted by Tempo Storm. Yeah. So it's nice to see that they are readjusting themselves well into this one as we are going into second half.
Yeah, I think Tempo Storm, when they were winning those 3 rounds in a row, they kind of fell back into their comfortable, you know, just kind of play style. I think at that point, they probably should have stepped on the gas a little bit more. Maybe a little more random, maybe more loose, try to get some kills, ride the momentum. This is a momentum style game, and so you can't just do defaults all day and expect to beat, you know, one of the top teams in the world. You have to do something a little crazy. You have to get a little wild.
Also, when you're in like a best-of-1 scenario, that momentum even carries on stronger, because if you're in a best-of-3, usually we always see the best team win out in the end because of experience and stamina and all that. But in a best-of-1, that momentum is actually even more powerful. And that is why we sometimes see these best-of-1s like upsets, because one team just gets that train rolling. They're going to take 6, 7, 8 rounds in a row, or maybe come back 6, 7, 8 rounds in a row because of that momentum shift. And in a best-of-1, 7 rounds in a row can change the entire thing.
Oh, yeah.
But right now, we are having a few server difficulties, but they are being fixed as we speak, so no worries.
Well, we'll have time for Tempo Storm to kind of like, okay, let's reset.
Yeah.
How are we going to get back into this game? We're CT side now. Are we a CT side team? I hope so. If you want this to be a close match, Cloud9 have some room, but you can't let up just yet. Just because you're up 11-4 doesn't mean the match is over. I mean, all it takes is 1 pistol, and now you're kind of in the back of the game. Well, you got to win the hardest round in this game, and that's second round. Yes. That's right after pistol. But once you get past that, things, you know, then you kind of, you know, feel a little more at ease.
One of the things that I'm wondering right now in the C9 camp, if they're gonna run what I like to call like a no-respect pistol, where you just go for a straight-up B rush, no flashes, no nothing, just full armor, just go in there, assert your dominance. I could feel like that would be something they wanted to do, but they're probably, I hope they're taking this more as like an experience where, okay, we need to see how our setups work against teams that we don't usually play against, so maybe they're going to throw some more utility in. I think those 2 are other options that are on the table right now for C9, as seems the problem is within Tempo Storm, but surely.
I think C9 will do something along the lines of not just no respect, but a pistol where they're all bunched up. Yeah. I think keep it simple, because the more complicated it is, the more things can go wrong. You're up 11-4. You don't have to do anything ridiculous to win the round. It's up to Tempo Storm. They have to do something ridiculous to win the round. And
something ridiculous has actually happened, because Landon has bought a CZ75 in the pistol run, as we do see on the T side. A couple of flashbang smokes. Actually, just 1 smoke and nade. So banana control pushing all up onto Landon, who's he's kind of in a tough spot right now if they decide to just jump in. He has a CZ75 in hand. Surely he's going to get that first frag, but actually he does miss. Dewey comes in with the Glock. And now side control has been given over to Cloud9. Retake is imminent for Tempo Storm.
And Cloud9 are taking it, but S1 taking a tower. I didn't expect him to be there that quickly. And now Stewie's kind of in an awkward spot, but he needs to get a kill. He does take out S1. Now he's in the back hall, taking out 2 players. Stewie holding this round together. Finally gets taken out by ASHZ. Now Scott taking out Tata. 1-on-3 situation for SHZ. Oh, taking out Scott, who's on top of Rush. He knows that one more person's by that new box, and now it's taking out automatic. Now it's a 1-on-1 situation.
This is great play. SHZ coming out with a potential clutch here. Trying to get it. There's only knife left, and he can't get it. Rush in the back of that bomb site will make sure that the round goes C9's way. That was getting a bit too close in there.
That was a little scary right there. You had such a huge man advantage for Cloud9. All of a sudden, you get taken out 1 by 1. That's something you never want to see. So Cloud9 dodging the bullet, literally.
Yeah. I also feel that that was a problem with the way that C9, if I am allowed to critique it in a way.
You can critique it.
Because the way that they played that was they were giving individual 1v1s to the terrorist in a 1v3 or 3v1. That's just, you cannot do that, because then you're actually allowing him a way back into the round, which should be impossible when you're 3v1.
Yeah. I mean, you just, if one person attacks, you shoot him in the back.
Yeah.
It's like just 1-on-3 situations, play the most basics, CS how you can do, attack at angles at the same time.
The flash coming in there. S1 actually not being able to capitalize off it. I thought he had that kill down for sure. Stewie and Tarragon, Unison, mostly Stewie there, getting that frag done. And now only 1 player left on the B bomb site. Desert Eagle in hand.
And here's a problem with C9 sometimes. They leave the bomb on the other side of the map. We've seen this happen sometimes at EPL and other matches. C9 needs to have a better bomb system. So I'm tired of seeing these guys leave the bomb somewhere in like despawn and having to run all the way back to get it. So, come on.
Yeah, this is taking some of the pace out of the round here. Right now, Cloud9 are just waiting. They have 2 players near mid towards that apartments area, so they're probably going to see if they can get some kind of opening here. ASH said, not quite sure what's going on. Landing on top of the flowers there. We'll get 1 frag and then flash off and rotate back. Going to take the man advantages back, so it's now 4v4. Nice shot from Stewie, though. Completely decapitates the Tarsin. As Landon is still trying to get frags here with the CZ75. Very close to getting it, though. They're now executing in towards this bomb site. And DZT is nowhere to be found. He is on the opposite side of the map. Deagle armor. And at this point, what do you do if you're DZT? Just hope for some exits?
I try to hope for some exits, save the armor and pistol for next round. Hopefully, if you get a gun, you could drop maybe your pistol to someone else in your teammate. I mean, you have no kit, you're outnumbered. You shouldn't try to go for it. You should try to get exit kills. I think that's 100% the best thing.
All right, so very confident so far from Cloud9 on this T side, and that's what we're talking about. Like, you can control the pace of a game when you're on this T side, and also if you are the favorite, it becomes very hard for Tempo Storm to kind of do anything against it, because you basically have to react to whatever Cloud9 is doing. And if they decide to just run up and just take a bomb site, there's not much you can do about it. Full eco here. So Tempo Storm is saying, okay, we're going to allow you to get round number 14, but that's going to be it. You cannot get any more than that.
You see C9 methodically taking over this banana area, Molotoving the barrels, the sandbags, just gutting out. They know that Tempo Storm is on a low buy. Stewie taking out DCT. You see Stewie just having a field day here today against Tempo Storm, showing no fear at all. You can see interesting setup though by Cloud9 as the bombs in B, but there's 2 of Cloud9's at the A bomb site. So this could be very dangerous if they lose the bomb, but Skadoodle recognizes this and falls back immediately. Tar's going to stay here trying to shoot off this 1-on-3 situation, and B gets headshotted and now gives up an AK. A 3-on-3 situation, but Cloud9, they're going to take over this A bomb site.
Yeah, so 3v3, but it's not just like an eco round run out now for Tempo Storm, because they have picked up those 2 AKs on that banana. So the question is here, do they want to go for this retake, or do they just want to take the AKs and bring them into the next round, which is probably the smart call in this one. Post-plant, it's very hard unless you have some kind of utility to make your way into a bomb site, some flashes, some Molotov to flush out the opposition. If you don't have that, a T could be waiting behind every single corner, and it would be very hard for you to get that kill.
Yeah, it's very smart saving the 2 AKs for the next round, especially on CT when guns are so much more expensive, and the utility. And so C9, they're going to try to play it safe as well, because they don't have a little bit of money But Tarek sitting on $0 and he's dead. So he's gonna have to ask for a drop next round.
See, Automatic is going for it. See what he can do here. And it will only be one AK allowed to save. And I kind of agree with that. He has a UMP45. He'll probably looking to upgrade anyways. So if he can throw that and just change it for an AK on that CT side, that's probably a good choice. But now, this is where Tempo Storm, they need to get into character and say, this is enough. Put the foot down. I don't think, or I think it's going to be very hard for them to do that, but they are running out of rounds to do that in, because Cloud9 on 14 will secure that overtime if they lose this one. And with the money on Tempo Storm right now, it seems very likely that if they get to round number 15, they're also going to get 16 straight away, because only one of the players on that CT side had extra money after buying.
Yeah, the CT side is very low on Molotovs, as there's only one Molotov left for the CT, so any execute that C9 will do is going to be very powerful. Not much resistance in terms of utility by the Tempo Storm. You can see Cloud9, they're going to start off with the default, take over Banana, make sure that you can't get flanked, can't get pushed. And while that's happening, Cloud9 is going to be taking over the house. Just pretty much taking as much map control as possible before a huge engage.
Using the Molotov, using the set smokes to kind of block off potential positions. Timing perfect there. Automatic knows Landon's going to come out the corner and takes him out. So that's a one-man advantage already for the T side. 2 flashbangs remaining on that CT side. No smokes left, no Molotovs left. Only have 1 player on a kit. This is looking very grim for the Tempo Storm side, as Cloud9 are edging themselves into this execute, but SH set trying to get something done. Immediately gets traded out to Tarzan. Good double up there. They lined up for him, but does not capitalize on it. Automatic already now in library. As the bomb is going down. Gets a lot of information from this in the position he has right now. Just turn around and get it done, and he will. Takes down DZT, hurts the gunfire from the other one, and that's going to be 15 for Cloud9. Automatic, 4K in that round. Very nice play coming in.
Automatic with a nice timing and spacing in that strat. He was right behind his 2E2K in that situation, playing it smart, using him almost as a bait, and it worked out nicely because he was able to exchange kills, sneak into the library, and then kind of just wait for the rotation. So good play by Stewie and Automatic on that wrap part.
And this is what we feared with the money situation being as it is. Tatarsin, he was the one with 2K after buying last round. He has the full setup, but the rest of the team on UMP45s, and this gun right here, the Max 7. Good close range if you can play around that smoke. Nicely done by S. One, but will not be anything more than that. Tarek shuts him down, a secondary player there. Playing around that smoke as well. As I said, is taken out. Tatarsin, in my eyes, is the one who could be the difference maker in this kind of round for Tempo Storm. He is playing aggressively, but Rush is also not giving him anything. Has a lot of map control, has a lot of information now, but if his teammates keep dying all over the map, that map control isn't really worth anything.
Yeah, now it's a 2-on-4 situation. Cloud9's all grouped up here going towards Banana. Tata, yeah, he flanked them, but is it too little too late as they're about to hit this B bomb site? You got DCT all alone with 0 utility left, and he gets easily taken out with Tata trying to flank from behind. As he takes out Skadoodle and taking out Automatic, now 2-on-1. Not impossible, but still, the round was very grim as Tarek takes out Tazin. Cloud9 winning 16-4. Expected?
Yeah, as we pretty much would say, it's one of those games where Cloud9 were the favorites. They came in, they had those 3 rounds we talked about where it kind of looked like, okay, maybe there's a chance here for Tempo Storm if they can ride the wave of this momentum, and they just got shot down immediately thereafter. And it's nice to see C9 getting into trouble a couple of rounds and then resetting themselves and taking control of that situation. So Cloud9 with the win here, expected one in the opening match of the DreamHack ASTRO Open here in Denmark. Of course, going over saying GG.
You know, having a good time. It's fun being here. I know it's hard losing 16-4, but you know, you have to show that you made it here. Maybe you learned something from it. Do better next time. Tempo Storm, they had a chance to have a little run in the match, but after they got 2-3 rounds, they didn't put on the gas. They have to push. They have to take the game in their own hands. They can't just sit back and let things happen. They got to make it happen.
I also feel like this is invaluable information, or not information, but experience that the Tempo Storm could get, because currently they're playing the online leagues, they're playing the ESEA Premier, and that kind of like region of things. And I feel like LAN is what truly shapes a CS player. And that is where you kind of get to know yourself and you get to know your qualities. You get to know the areas where you're going to be pushed as a player in that like LAN setting. Right now, there are no booths. The players are just there. They can see the crowd. They can hear the crowd. And all that pressure is what can either make or break you as a CS player. And I think it's a great bit of experience to get for a young team as Tempo Storm.
Mm-hmm. You gotta have the hot yoga. Breathing through the nose, out through the mouth, get rid of the nerves.
That's nice.
It's good. I do it. That's what I do.
Good advice coming from the Bears there. But of course, we have another man who always has good advice. Right now, he's on the stage as Parla to interview the winners.
Great hair, too.
Thank you so much, guys. I'm here with Rush. That seemed like quite a standard Inferno affair, 16-4. How did it go from your perspective?
I mean, yeah, it looks pretty easy, but they had some good rounds on their T side. Obviously, got a little shaky for a second, but we just, played our game and won.
Yeah, talking about you guys' game at the moment, it looks like you're playing a pretty high level. Are you happy with the performances that you guys are bringing out?
Recently, yeah, I think we're really happy with what we do on LAN, but online we're kind of like shaky as well. Like in EPL, like we're like 12 and 8 or something like that, and we're like barely gonna qualify. Maybe we have to win our last matches. So online it's kind of shaky, but I think we're confident on LAN right now. So.
And what do you think of Denver being here? We're in a pretty cool venue, and has the travel been okay? You're not too tired?
Yeah, I've been here before, so I'm really happy to be back. It's nice here.
Yeah, and we've got like a crowd starting to form, and I think they were cheering behind you guys. What do you think of that?
Yeah, appreciate it. Thanks for the support.
Yeah, and so overall then, what are your goals at this tournament? Of course, you want to win the entire thing, but who are your main competition? And just going into this tournament, what are you looking for?
Nothing less than first, honestly. The big opponents would be big in mouse sports.
Okay, and how do you feel you stack up against those guys?
I think pretty even. I think we probably edge them out a bit, but they're definitely going to be hard to play against.
Okay, well, only time will tell. Potentially maybe meeting them later in the competition. Congratulations, Rush, and to Cloud9 as well. That'll be it from us on the stage. Let's head back to the guys on the desk.
Hey, thanks, Paula. Hey, you know what, guys? They said nothing less than first will suffice, and you know what? I think they're absolutely right. They have to go for first in this one.
Yeah, again, I mean, I think that the final everyone was thinking about is Mouse Sports Cloud9. I think that should be a good match if it does wind up happening. But yeah, I think for them, first place is the expectation after what they did at E-League Premier.
Yeah, I would have to agree. I mean, and Rush alluded to the fact their online play has not been that good, and that's something I mentioned earlier. Their EPL standing was not very good, 12 and 8. That's pretty abysmal for a team that's taking out G2 on LAN.
Right, and I mean, we can always reference back to, oh, well, this is a new team. This is a team that's trying to find its form, this and that. But ultimately, I don't think that a team like Tempo Storm would be the one to put them to the test within this tournament. I mean, obviously, you see a 16-4 there on Inferno. Stewie's running around putting a clinic on these guys. I mean, what else can you deduce from this match?
I mean, we said the win condition for Tempo Storm was going to have to be outplaying them tactically. And for a moment there, you did see them come out with some pretty cool stuff. Like, they had some really well-coordinated flash pushes on lane. They were starting to get some rounds together. But I think that Cloud9 just started to notice that Tempo Storm were waiting until late round to run these executes. And so they just held their utility, and they wound up just timing them out. Like, there was one round where there's only like 15 seconds left on the clock, and they want to do a wrap moto, and Skadoodle still has to smoke in 2 flashes. Like, you're going to have a hard time wrapping around at that point. You're going to get slowed down. So I think it was a case of them just getting bullied early on. They found their footing a bit, but then Cloud9 just adjusted, and that was the end of it.
Yeah, I agree. And even on those rounds where they did tactically almost outplay Tempo Storm, that is, on Cloud9, they won some of those rounds off of just really amazing shots.
Yeah.
Landon, one round coming into the A bomb site from porch side, hit the most crucial, I would guess it was probably a no-scope on Rush. He flicked no-scoped and what it looked like. And that pretty much secured the round for him. So they were tactically playing pretty well, but Landon hit some pretty nice shots in some key moments, and he was, for us, our player to watch on Tempo Storm coming into it. Some other guys had some pretty nice rounds, but it was really just the Cloud9 show. Yeah,
I mean, overall, you can also look at it and say, okay, well, Cloud9 are certainly the, dare I say, veterans coming into this one. They have that LAN experience. They have sort of the pedigree to show for, hey, like, we've done this on LAN. Now it's on you guys to come in here and get some experience as well.
Yeah, and they're going to need to really at least get, I'd say, double digits in their next match for them to have a lot of confidence, especially going forward as a team, because we saw Galeforce at DreamHack Montreal played, they're a team we didn't expect to get very many rounds at all, and they had a banger of a match against North. And that gave them a lot of confidence and helped them probably in the long run, where it's Tempo Storm right now. They're going to need a match like that to really help their confidence.
Yeah, it's one of those things that we see often happen with these teams that haven't really been at big LAN competitions. They come in kind of timid, right? I mean, there were rounds where Tempo Storm were hesitant to even like work up alt mid and try to get apartments control. Like they were sitting way back anticipating aggression. And you can't give Cloud9 that much space to work with. You have to start challenging for some map control. And it took them a while to really kind of start, getting it going. And when you compare their online play to this, I mean, when I watch them online, they would be confident to make pacing changes and try to pick up the pace. But against Cloud9, again, they seemed really hesitant. They wanted to be very patient. And I think they just became very readable at that point. So I think that they're going to have to kind of loosen back up and go back to what they know that they're good at and start throwing that in there and just have the confidence to try it.
Well, certainly Cloud9 not taking any sort of steps back in terms of pushing that confidence to the brink, not giving them any room to breathe. But I do have to tell you about a little thing called Strafe. Head over to strafe.com, just the perfect esports app. One might even call it a companion. Head over there. You can follow along with your favorite tournaments, teams, just the whole nine. So do I need to ask any more, guys? Do I need to ask any more? Just head over to strafe.com.
Make it rain.
Make it rain. Well, there you have it. We're going to go to a quick break, but while we're doing that, check out this strafe.com app. Let's see how it works.